Imagine a land so harsh, yet so desirable, that Vikings risked everything to claim it. Cold War superpowers fought to control it, and even a modern US president tried to buy it. Greenland isn't just an icy island, it's been a global obsession for over 1,000 years, a place where geography, resources, and politics collide. But why is this frozen expanse more than just glaciers and snow? And what makes it so vital that nations have competed for it across centuries? Welcome to Armchair Archaeology, where we dig deep into history's most fascinating stories. If you're as curious as we are about the mysteries of history, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Today, we'll uncover why Greenland has always been coveted, from its first settlers to its role in modern geopolitics. Along the way, we'll explore how its icy landscape holds answers to both ancient mysteries and today's greatest challenges. And stay tuned until the end, because we'll reveal how Greenland's ice not only holds the key to its future, but also unlocks secrets about the planet's distant past, insights that could help us navigate today's climate crisis. Greenland's story begins with the Vikings, who were among the first to see potential in this icy land. Around 982 CE, Erik the Red, a Norseman exiled from Iceland, set sail westward in search of a new home. When he arrived, he saw a land that was tough but promising, and he used a clever marketing trick to make it seem even more appealing. Erik named it Greenland, hoping the name would entice others to follow him. Imagine being one of those settlers, staring out at a land of icy fjords and jagged cliffs, wondering if you'd survive the bitter winters. But Erik's clever name painted a hopeful picture, and it worked. Hundreds of settlers joined him. Despite the island's challenging environment, the Vikings established two main settlements along Greenland's southwestern coast, where they farmed, raised livestock, and hunted seals and caribou. Picture them carving out lives in brutal winters, their livestock huddled in thick-walled barns, and their ships braving icy waters to trade with Europe. It was survival, but just barely. They also became key players in the North Atlantic trade network, exporting walrus ivory, a luxury material highly prized in medieval Europe. Yet, life in Greenland was anything but easy. The island's limited farmland and unpredictable climate made survival a constant battle. The Viking colonies thrived for nearly 500 years, but by the 15th century, they mysteriously disappeared. Scholars believe a combination of factors, including the onset of the Little Ice Age, depleted resources, and rising competition with the Inuit, led to their decline. While the Vikings were eventually defeated by the environment, their presence left a lasting mark. If you're fascinated by how ancient societies like the Vikings survived and thrived, check out our ebook, Secrets of the Ancient World. The link's in the pinned comment. Erik's gamble wasn't just bold, it was transformative. Today, the ruins of Viking farms and churches are scattered across Greenland's rugged landscape, silent reminders of their incredible resilience and ambition. These settlers put Greenland on the map, both literally and figuratively, sparking centuries of fascination with this icy frontier. The Viking era came to an end, but Greenland's story was far from over. After the Viking colonies vanished, Greenland fell into obscurity, forgotten by much of Europe for centuries. But during the age of exploration in the 16th century, Greenland once again captured attention. European powers like Denmark and Norway began to assert claims over the island, drawn by its strategic location in the North Atlantic and the possibility of Arctic riches. At the time, explorers hoped Greenland might be a gateway to the fabled Northwest Passage, a trade route connecting Europe to Asia through the Arctic. While the passage remained elusive, the dream of unlocking its potential kept Greenland on the minds of monarchs and cartographers alike. Early maps often depicted Greenland inaccurately, based on fragmented reports from sailors. Some showed the island as a cluster of smaller land masses, while others connected it to mythical Arctic territories. These errors highlight how Greenland, though poorly understood, symbolized the allure of the unknown. Denmark and Norway, unified under one crown, took control of Greenland, though their presence on the island was minimal. For the few who did venture there, Greenland felt like the edge of the world, a place where ambition met the harsh limits of human endurance. Colonization efforts remained limited due to Greenland's harsh conditions, but its symbolic importance endured. For European empires, Greenland represented the edge of the known world, a frontier where ambition met the limits of human endurance. Interestingly, these early misconceptions about Greenland echo modern ones. Just as explorers underestimated its size and significance, today the Arctic is often misunderstood, with many failing to grasp its critical role in shaping global climate and geopolitics. Greenland's enduring allure, from the age of exploration to now, lies in its potential, a potential that has continued to shift with changing times and priorities. But before any of this, another group had already claimed Greenland's frozen expanse as their home. Long before Erik the Red or European explorers set foot in Greenland, the Inuit had already established themselves as masters of this icy land. Their ancestors, part of the Thule culture, arrived around 1000 CE, bringing with them the skills and ingenuity needed to survive one of the world's harshest climates. Unlike later settlers, the Inuit didn't try to reshape Greenland, they adapted to it. The Inuit survival was rooted in their deep understanding of the Arctic environment. They hunted seals, whales, and caribou with tools crafted from bone and stone, creating harpoons and kayaks that were perfectly suited to the icy waters. Their clothing, made from animal hides and fur, provided insulation against sub-zero temperatures. Even their homes, including the iconic igloos, showcased remarkable ingenuity by combining simplicity with thermal efficiency. But the Inuits' connection to Greenland went beyond survival. It was spiritual. They believed that the ice, water, and sky were alive with spirits, a worldview that reflected their profound respect for the natural world. This relationship allowed them to live sustainably in the Arctic for centuries, leaving little impact on the fragile environment. When the Vikings arrived in the 10th century, they found the Inuit thriving. The two groups likely traded, but competition for resources may have sparked conflicts. Unlike the Vikings, who struggled with the changing climate and depleted their resources, the Inuit endured. Their ability to adapt and live harmoniously with their surroundings ensured their survival long after the Norse settlements disappeared. Today, Inuit culture remains a cornerstone of Greenlandic identity. Their traditions, language, and resilience offer powerful lessons on how humans can live sustainably in even the most extreme environments, a legacy that feels increasingly relevant in our era of climate change. Greenland's vast, icy expanse has long concealed resources that made it a target of ambition. For the Vikings, one of Greenland's greatest assets was walrus ivory, a luxury material highly sought after in medieval Europe for crafting religious artifacts and intricate carvings. Later, European powers exploited Greenland's seal skins, fish, and other Arctic commodities, though the island's isolation and extreme climate limited large-scale operations for centuries. Today, Greenland's resources are sparking a global race. Underneath its ice are minerals crucial for powering things like smartphones and electric cars. These materials are vital to transitioning the world toward renewable energy. Greenland also holds untapped oil and gas reserves, and boasts one of the richest fishing zones in the world. But it's not just about what's under the ice. Greenland's location makes it a strategic hub as Arctic shipping lanes open due to climate change. For centuries, Greenland's icy terrain acted as a natural barrier, making its wealth inaccessible. But as the ice melts, this is rapidly changing. Scientists estimate that Greenland holds 10% of the world's rare earth reserves, making it a critical player in global supply chains. This potential has attracted interest from powerful nations, including China and the United States, each eager to secure access to its resources. However, this newfound accessibility comes with challenges. Greenland faces the dilemma of how to balance economic development with environmental protection. As the Arctic heats up, the island's resources are both an opportunity and a responsibility, a reminder that the race for wealth often comes at a cost. Greenland's relationship with Denmark has deep roots, stretching back to the early modern period. When the union between Denmark and Norway dissolved in 1814, Greenland remained under Danish control. Although the island was remote and sparsely populated, Denmark saw it as a symbol of national pride and an asset in asserting Arctic dominance. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Denmark sought to strengthen its grip on Greenland by sending missionaries to convert the Inuit population to Christianity and establishing trading posts along the coast. These efforts were as much about control as they were about commerce or religion. However, the changes that came with colonization disrupted the Inuits' traditional way of life, replacing ancient systems of survival with European goods and governance. Greenland's colonial status began to change in the 20th century, especially after World War II. In 1953, Denmark officially incorporated Greenland as a province, ending its designation as a colony. While this was presented as a step toward equality, it didn't erase the deep inequalities between Denmark and Greenland. Calls for autonomy grew louder, culminating in the establishment of Greenland's Home Rule in 1979, granting the island control over domestic affairs. Despite this progress, Greenland remains economically reliant on Denmark. The annual subsidies provided by Denmark account for about 20% of Greenland's GDP, underscoring how deeply tied the two remain. This financial dependence complicates Greenland's push for full independence. Greenland's colonial past continues to shape its present. Its autonomy has grown, but the echoes of its history, both cultural and economic, are still felt. As Greenland navigates its future, it must grapple with the legacy of its colonial relationship while striving for self-determination in an increasingly competitive Arctic. Loving this journey through history? You can show your support by giving us a super thanks. It helps us keep bringing you these incredible stories. World War II brought Greenland into global focus like never before. When Nazi Germany occupied Denmark in 1940, Greenland found itself isolated from its colonial ruler. Recognizing the island's strategic importance, the United States quickly stepped in to defend Greenland and secure its resources, marking a turning point in its global role. Greenland's location in the North Atlantic made it critical to the Allied war effort. The island served as a stopover for transatlantic flights and a base for weather stations that provided vital meteorological data. These weather reports proved crucial for planning major military operations, including the D-Day invasion. To protect these resources, the US established a network of bases along Greenland's coast, solidifying the Arctic as a key theater of wartime strategy. Enjoying this journey through Greenland's fascinating story? Consider giving us a super thanks to help us create even more content like this. One of the most significant of these bases was Bluey West 1, located in Narsarsuaq. Built under extreme Arctic conditions, the The base became a hub for transporting troops and supplies across the Atlantic. Greenland also played a pivotal role in monitoring German U-boat activity, ensuring the Allies maintained control over Arctic waters. This wartime presence had long-term consequences. The US saw Greenland as more than just an icy outpost. It was a strategic cornerstone for controlling the Arctic. Even today, remnants of these wartime bases serve as tangible reminders of Greenland's outsized role in shaping the course of the war. World War II transformed Greenland's global significance, establishing it as a key player in Arctic strategy. This newfound importance set the stage for its central role in Cold War geopolitics and the broader race for Arctic dominance that continues today. As the Cold War began, Greenland's location in the Arctic made it a critical asset in the global standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union. Positioned between North America and Europe, Greenland offered an ideal vantage point for monitoring Soviet activity and defending against potential nuclear attacks. The US, already familiar with Greenland's strategic importance from World War II, deepened its presence on the island by establishing Thule Air Base in 1951. Thule Air Base became a cornerstone of US Arctic strategy. Equipped with advanced radar systems, it was a vital part of the early warning network designed to detect incoming Soviet missiles. Its location allowed the US to monitor vast stretches of airspace, ensuring that any nuclear attack from the Soviet Union could be detected in time for retaliation. This system of mutual deterrence, known as mutually assured destruction, relied heavily on installations like Thule to maintain a fragile global balance. However, the militarization of Greenland during the Cold War wasn't without controversy. In the 1960s, it came to light that the US had secretly placed nuclear weapons on Greenlandic soil without Denmark's knowledge or consent. This revelation caused significant outrage and highlighted the secretive nature of Cold War geopolitics. The scale of US operations in Greenland during this period left a lasting legacy. Imagine secret meetings, icy airstrips buzzing with activity, and the tension of a Cold War-era Arctic. Greenland became more than an island. It was a chessboard. Even today, Thule Air Base remains operational, a symbol of Greenland's enduring importance in global military strategy. By the end of the Cold War, Greenland's role as an Arctic stronghold had been firmly established. Its strategic value, first recognized during World War II, only grew as the geopolitical race for dominance in the Arctic continued into the modern era. Want to explore more about how ancient civilizations shaped the world? Our ebook, Secrets of the Ancient World, dives into fascinating stories of innovation and resilience. Check the link in the pinned comment. In 2019, Greenland captured global headlines when then-President Donald Trump expressed interest in purchasing the island from Denmark. The proposal, dismissed by Denmark as absurd, wasn't without historical precedent. In 1946, the United States had offered $100 million to buy Greenland as part of its post-war Arctic strategy. Although both offers were rejected, Trump's interest reignited a debate about why Greenland remains such a valuable asset. The island's importance lies in its unique combination of resources and geography. Beneath its icy surface are vast deposits of rare earth minerals, materials critical for renewable energy technologies, electronics, and even military equipment. Its coastal waters boast some of the world's richest fisheries, and its location makes it a hub for Arctic shipping routes, which are becoming more accessible as climate change melts sea ice. Greenland's strategic position places it at the center of new shipping lanes that could transform global trade, reducing travel times between Europe, Asia, and North America. Trump's proposal also highlighted growing competition in the Arctic. Nations like China and Russia have been expanding their influence in the region, eyeing its untapped resources and emerging trade routes. For the United States, securing Greenland would mean a stronger foothold in the Arctic to counter these rivals. The rejection of Trump's offer didn't diminish Greenland's significance. It only underscored how critical the island has become in a rapidly warming and increasingly competitive world. Greenland's value today is a reflection of its enduring role in global geopolitics. From its strategic location to its resource potential, the reasons why nations covet Greenland remain as compelling now as they were 1,000 years ago. Greenland is warming faster than almost anywhere else on Earth, with its ice sheet melting at unprecedented rates. While this stark reality is a warning sign of climate change, it has also made Greenland a focus of global attention. As the ice retreats, it is revealing resources and opportunities that are reshaping the island's role in the world. For centuries, Greenland's harsh environment made its natural wealth inaccessible. Now, vast deposits of rare earth minerals, essential for renewable energy and modern technologies, are becoming more accessible. Greenland's waters, rich with fish, are opening up to expanded commercial fishing. Even more transformative are the new Arctic shipping routes that have emerged as ice melts. These routes, including the fabled Northwest Passage, could significantly reduce travel times for global trade, positioning Greenland as a key hub in a changing Arctic. But these opportunities come at a cost. Greenland's melting ice sheet is the single largest contributor to global sea level rise, threatening coastal communities around the world. In other words, what happens in Greenland doesn't stay in Greenland. It directly impacts millions of people globally. The island's ecosystems are also under strain, as warming temperatures disrupt wildlife and traditional Inuit ways of life. Greenland's indigenous communities, who have survived for millennia by adapting to the Arctic's challenges, now face a delicate balancing act: how to embrace economic development without sacrificing their environment and culture. Their story reminds us of humanity's ability to adapt even in the harshest conditions. But it also raises the question, how can we adapt today without making the same mistakes of the past? Meanwhile, Greenland's growing strategic importance has sparked a new wave of international interest. Countries like China and Russia have amplified their Arctic ambitions, while the United States and European Union have worked to secure their influence in the region. As the Arctic transforms, Greenland's future is uncertain. It stands at the crossroads of opportunity and responsibility, a place where climate change is not only a challenge, but also a driver of global competition. Greenland stands at a pivotal moment in its history. For decades, there has been a growing movement for full independence from Denmark, fueled by a desire to reclaim control over the island's future. While Greenland already governs most of its domestic affairs, its reliance on Danish subsidies, accounting for around 20% of its GDP, poses a significant challenge to achieving full autonomy. What do you think Greenland's future looks like? Full independence or continued ties with Denmark? Share your perspective in the comments below. Economically, Greenland has vast potential. Its untapped reserves of rare earth minerals, oil, and gas, as well as its thriving fishing industry, could form the backbone of an independent economy. Tourism is another growing sector, attracting visitors eager to see its glaciers and unique landscapes. However, these industries are still in their early stages, and fully developing them would require outside investment, advanced infrastructure, and a delicate balance with environmental protection. The drive for independence is deeply tied to Greenland's national identity. For the island's majority Inuit population, self-determination represents not only political freedom, but also the preservation of their culture and traditions. Yet, independence would also thrust Greenland into the global spotlight as it navigates its position in an increasingly competitive Arctic. The US, China, Russia, and the European Union are all eager to deepen their influence in the region, each vying for access to Greenland's resources and strategic location. Greenland's future hangs in the balance. Will it break free from Denmark, or will its reliance on subsidies and pressure from global powers keep it in a state of semi-autonomy? The decisions Greenland makes in the coming years will not only shape its destiny, but also impact the balance of power in the Arctic, a region that is rapidly becoming one of the world's most contested frontiers. Greenland's story is one of survival, ambition, and global significance. If Greenland's story inspires you, you'll love our ebook, Secrets of the Ancient World. It's packed with fascinating tales of resilience, innovation, and mystery. Find the link in the pinned comment. From the Vikings who braved its icy shores to its role in Cold War strategy and today's Arctic competition, Greenland has long been more than just a frozen island. It's a land of immense value and intrigue. As the climate warms and the Arctic transforms, Greenland's importance is only growing. Its natural resources, emerging shipping routes, and strategic location have placed it at the center of a global race for influence. But Greenland's story is also deeply personal. For thousands of years, the Inuit have thrived here by adapting to one of the harshest environments on Earth, a resilience that offers lessons for humanity as we face the challenges of climate change. And here's that fun fact we promised. Greenland's ice isn't just a frozen wilderness, it's a time capsule. By studying its ancient ice cores, scientists have uncovered atmospheric data going back over 100,000 years, offering insights into how the Earth transitioned out of the last ice age. By drilling deep into Greenland's ancient ice, scientists have uncovered secrets from over 100,000 years ago, giving us clues about how Earth's climate evolved and what's coming next. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Greenland's incredible history and uncertain future. If you enjoyed this exploration, support our channel, Armchair Archaeology, by liking this video and subscribing for more fascinating stories. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. What other ancient mysteries or historic regions would you like us to explore? Share your ideas in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the spirit of discovery alive.